Mesechus Bava Kama daf pei beis Amud Aleph. This Shiur is Lili Nishmas of Imoiri Menachem ben Akiva, Rus bas Shalom, Sora bas Moshe, Sora bas Moshe, and yeah, the first call for this, or the first Hana Batzima, Mina Chaya bas Geulah Rochel, Yudis bas Rivka, Sara bas Nechama,
Shmuel Avraham ben
Shmuel Avraham ben Yudis Chaim Yona ben Gittel B'soch Shechad Yisrael. Pei beis Amud Aleph Bava Kama v'hoki osar ba'abin Omer Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara asks the following question now. You said that there are only 10 takanos of the 10 takanos of Yoshua bin Nun, right? 10 conditions, 10 takanos. However, we define them, there are conditions. They all have to do basically with being a good neighbor and being mivater. And now the Gemara asks the question. The Gemara previously asked the question that we saw that there are other Tanoim who say otherwise. There are Tanoim who say that there are more than 10 takanos. No problem. It could be a machlokes Tanoim. Some Tanoim, such as Rabbi Yehuda, they say there's another one, right? As we saw before, to throw the zevel into the street. And now the Gemara comes with a more difficult problem. When Rabin came, he said, on behalf of Rabbi Yochanan, and Rabbi Yochanan was an Amoira. And what did Rabbi Yochanan say? Echad ilan hanoite letoch sde chaveroi. An ilan that is partially, that's supposed to be, that is planted in your domain, in your field, but is noite, is actually leaning towards your friend's field. Yeah, part of the tree is actually in your friend's field, or the echad ilan atomach lametzal. There is a tree that's right by the border between you and the road, and the main road. And what's the names? The branch, not the branches, the roots, they sort of, go over the border under the ground into someone else's reshus. Such a tree, you're supposed to pull out, supposed to eradicate it, and place it in the middle of your field where the shoroshim, the roots, are not going to disturb the people, or suck the ground from someone else, suck the energy. However, even though you're supposed to take it to remove it from the corner of the field, still, maybe the koire. When it comes to bikurim, you are supposed to bring bikurim from this tree, and you can even do the kriya of bikurim. You can even say the text, and should say the text. When you bring bikurim, you say ha'adama asher nasato li. You thank Hashem for the ground, for the land you gave me, and you can still call that land my land, even though some of the power that the tree gets, the nourishment, comes from somewhere else, and it's not right for you to do that. You can still call it that way. You can still say it's my tree and bring bikurim. Yoshua was manchil the land, so people should not be so makpid on each other. And as long as this tree is there, it is considered to be your tree, and you can call it Adama Shonosata Li. And that's part of the conditions of Yoshua. L'chatchila, do remove it, but if you didn't, it's still called yours. And you can make the bikurim and call and thank Hashem for the first fruit and say, my fruit, my tree. So you see what? Wait a second. Rabbi Yochanan is an Amoira. He cannot argue on a brisa, right? And the brisa said 10, and Rabbi Yochanan brings an additional one that's number 11. Now that's a bigger problem because Rabbi Yochanan is an Amoira. Mainly before we had Rabbi Yehuda, we had Rabbi Yochanan ben Broiko. They are Tanoim. They can argue on the brisa as much as they want. But this is Rabbi Yochanan. Can he argue on the Mishnah, the Brisa? Ella. Therefore, the Gemara comes with a different solution. Man Tana Sot Noin Shitne Yeshua. You know who is the one who actually said that Yeshua only made 10 conditions? It's Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rabbi Shua ben Levi is also an Amoira. He's also an Amoira. So really, it's a machlokes Amoiraim. Once we said that the Brisa is not a Brisa, it's very interesting. Usually when there's an Amoira against the Brisa, the Amoira is the one that has to start, twisting and turning. Here it's the other way around. We brought the Brisa down to the level of Amoraim. Really, the Brisa is not a Brisa. It's quoted by an Amoira, Rabbi Shua ben Levi. And so, Mimela, Rabbi Yochanan can argue on Rabbi Shua ben Levi, which means, at the end of the day, according to Rabbi Yochanan, there are 11 conditions. According to Rabbi Shua ben Levi, with another Amoira, there are only 10. Chlokes Amoraim is the most legitimate thing in the world. Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Rabbi Gvia mi Bei Kosil matnila behedya. Rabbi Gvia ben Kosil, he is the one who learned it mefurash, outright, straight from the Brisa, and he said like this. The way Rabbi Gvia mi Bei Kosil learned the entire source of the 10 conditions of Yeshua is as follows. He told you like this: Rab Tanchum v'Rab Brayes, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Bryce, I don't know. Rab Tanchum v'Rab Brayes, Amri mishum zaken echad umanu Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rab Tanchum v'Rab Brayes Ameroim quoted another elderly scholar, another Amoiro. Who is that? Manu, Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Oh, so it's Rabbi Shua ben Levi. He's a source. He's an Amoiro. What did he say? So Yeshua. He's the one who said Yeshua had 10 conditions. While Rabbi Yochanan says there's an 11th one that if you have a tree that is not completely legally in your place, it's partially taking from the others, which is not right. But the Eved you can make, you can bring Bikurim from there and call it your tree. So we all know that Yeshua and Ezra have very much in common, right? Yeshua is the one who brought Bnei Israel the first time, and Ezra is one who brought them the second time. Yeah, after the Golus of Babel, after 70 years, Ezra brought about 20 or 30,000 people. That's all. There was very few people that came back with Ezra. The Levim stayed behind. A lot of rich people stayed behind. They had big homes and very nice service in Walmart. And it was really, really hard to get rid to leave Babel. And they stayed over there. So Ezra also was the one who didn't tell. He forced Eden. He made a very big, strong, stark Kiruv movement to get rid of your Goyish wives. That's before Saddam, right? So Ezra, it was nice in Babel back then, you're saying, yeah. So then, basically, there was once a Kohen. There was a Kohen who was married to a Shiksa. So he kicked him out of Yerushalayim. Yeah? Ad kedei kach, even the Koyanim, Ezra had to do a lot of Kiruv work, v'chule, v'chule. So what are the takonos that Ezra was metaken? There are 10 takonos that Ezra made when people came to Eretz Yisrael. Although here also we'll see that some of them apply also in Chul. Shekoirin b'mincha be-Shabbos. Yeah, the Krias HaTorah should be read when on Shabbos mincha there's Krias HaTorah, right? In other words, Midoraisa, you don't have Krias HaTorah of Shabbos mincha, and Ezra is the one who established the mincha kriya. V'koirin b'sheni b'chamishi. Also, they should read the Torah as we just did today. Every Monday and Thursday, yeah, you should read the Torah, every Monday, Thursday morning. Vedonin b'shenu b'chamishi. Also, Beis Din sits down on Mondays and Thursdays to do Zedin. Everything will be explained by Ezra Hashem. Umechabsim b'chamishi b'Shabbos. The washing the clothes should be done on Thursday, meaning one must, this is a big misconception, this Mechabzim B'chamishi, unfortunately, by many people today. Mechabzim B'chamishi basically means that one has to have clean clothes for Shabbos. That's what it really means. And the preferred day is Thursday, because on Friday, you're too busy doing other things. That's what the Rosh says, and other people say. We'll discuss it later. But the main idea is that you should, first of all, make sure you have washed clothes. Your clothes should not be dirty on Shabbos. If you look in Halacha, the Shulchan Aruch doesn't say you should have special clothes for Shabbos. He said you should have clean clothes for Shabbos. Clean clothes for Shabbos is the most important thing, and that's the choshev thing. You have to make sure that on Thursday already you have something ready, because Friday you're too busy. Yeah, too busy doing other things, baking the chalas v'chule, and making the shol and cooking. You can't cook with the clean clothes. V'oichlim shum be'erev Shabbos. One should eat garlic on erev Shabbos. And we're going to see the reason why. Erev Shabbos, big shayla in the Rishonim if it's Friday, or Leil Shabbos, which is already very close to the act. A woman, here's a machlokes in the pshat, a woman, whenever she bakes, should be mashkemes ve'oifa, should rise early and bake her bread early. If you're already going to bake your bread, lady, you might as well, you should bake it early enough. Why early? Who cares what you bake the bread? Why is that your business when I bake my bread? Says the Rishonim. So Anin should have the bread right away. When an Oni comes to the door, she should have the bread ready for the Oni, So this way, two people gain from that. Listen to the stark lotion of the Rishonim. We give tzedakah, we think we're so benevolent, and like, the only has to kiss our feet. The Rishonim say, I'm saying Rishonim because Baruch Hashem, I've seen so much material in this yesterday that I'm like, I don't know already who says what. I apologize. A lot of it is me'ir, but not all of that. So the woman should be mashkim v'oifes, so the oni should get the bread straight away and should not stay hungry until she finishes baking. Yeah, not like some gvirim. They make the meshulach, even a nice meshulach that they already made an appointment. They make him stay outside in the rain or in the snow for 15 minutes, and that's a crime. And you can't stay like in the little corridor in the three-story mansion. It's too much for them. So the oni should have what to eat straight away, and the oshir, the balabais, should not be suspected, should not be nechshad that he's not giving tzedakah right away. Get it? Ad kedei kach. People shouldn't think you're not quick to give tzedakah. That doesn't look good on you, the one who donates the money. Next one, v'shetei isha chogeres b'sinah. A woman should have a sinah. We're going to explain what that means. Machlokes rishonim. Sinah either means underwear. Basically, before Ezra, you're laughing, but before Ezra or by Goim, there was no such thing. There was a skirt. What else do you need? Yeah. So either for reasons of tzinius, which we'll discuss later, or nida, he was mechadish, basically the sanitary pad, or there's another thing of tznius, another third reason of tznius, which we'll see later on. A woman also, before she goes to the ritual bath, a woman should be chofefes. Chofefes means, in modern Hebrew, lachfof is to lather your hair like this. I can't really show it myself so much. Yeah, chofef like this, but really chofef, according to most Rishonim, should comb her hair before she goes to the mikveh. The avoid chatzitza. That's the Krias Ezra. Everything will be discussed. Mitzvah Hashem. It's a big mitzvah for a woman to make up for her husband, to look nice cosmetically for her husband, and therefore, so says the Gemara, as opposed to all the tznius things. The roichlin, the what's the names, the peddlers that sell makeup or sell tachshitim or sell the different versions, or they sell perfume, they should have the right to walk around and peddle. I don't know yet, peddling, whatever. They should offer the merchandise in many different towns, and the local merchants cannot stop them from doing that. Yeah, you can't say I have the market in this and that town, and you, Mr. Whatever cosmetician or whatever cosmetic seller, you can't come to my town. No, everyone has the right to sell more and more cosmetics because it's very important. But you can and also Ezra was metaken that a person who is a bal keri, somebody that has shichva zera coming out, he should not daven or learn before he goes to the mikveh. So the Maisa, Tekonos Ezra, most of them have to do with learning more Torah, right? Some of them had to do with Shabbos, and a lot of them have to do with the couple's life, with the Jewish home, yeah, with intimacy. So we're going to see one by one exactly what's the correct Jewish hashkafa from the Gemara, and not from all kinds of, sources we have from all over. The Shiur big soapbox today. Today's my day for my soapbox. Get ready. The Shiur b'sheni v'chamishi. Correct the Gemara, and this is a very common mistake. Who established Krias HaTorah? Who established the idea that people have to read the Torah by the Bima? A lot of people will tell you erroneously Ezra. That's first of all, that's shtuyot, because even in the Havamina here at this point at the beginning of the sugya, all the Gemara says is what? Monday, Thursday, Shabbos afternoon. That one that's glaringly missing is the big one, the main act in the show. That's a Shabbos morning, right? So Shabbos morning, my son only. I have an agreement with my 6 years old. The one tefillah he goes to on Shabbos at this point in his life is Shabbos afternoon. So he was sure on the learning of Mishnais, the Krias HaTorah is a short thing. He told me, what? Did they ever read the whole parsha? For that was a chiddush. Yeah. So yes, we read the parsha, the whole thing in the morning, and that's definitely not from Ezra, right? That's written actually. We'll see that's what the Takana is. We'll see now. That's not from Ezra. So which Kriya was established by Ezra? Monday and Thursday. Frag the Gemara, even that's not true. Ezra Tiken, are you sure what you're saying? Tiken, line starts with the word Tiken. Is Ezra the one who established it? This Takana is such an old Takana before the Torah was given. Before the Torah was given. When was it? The Tanya. It says, we just saw it recently, Parshas Beshalach. It says, they walked 3 days in the Midbar. days in the desert. V'lo motzu mayim. They didn't find water. What happened next? They went to Mora. There, the water was bitter. Moshe Rabbeinu threw the mace, the piece of wood tree, into the water. They became sweet. In any event, really, what does that mean? The people who darshan the Torah to the inner depth of the Torah, they say, Maim is water, because you can't live without water, you can't live without Torah. A Jew without Torah is like a fish out of the water. There's no such thing to live without Torah. Shenema, and here's the source. It says in the Novi, and the Novi is not talking, Mela the Torah talks about water. It also means physical water. They also needed water. Nobody says that. And also Torah. How do you know Torah is water? The Novi that only talks to you about spiritual things, not about physical. The Novi says, Hoi, kol sameh. Oh, anybody that's thirsty, l'chul hamayim, go to the water. Now the Novi doesn't have to tell me, Yehoi kol sameh l'chul hamayim, v'asher eno kesef l'chushivu v'chulei. Ishaya, Isaiah, he doesn't talk about going to drink water. We all know that the Nevi'im, they spoke Musar. They spoke about spiritual growth. So what's Ishayahu on about? He talks about water. If you are thirsty, go to the water of Torah. They went for 3 days. It says 3 days. 3 days without learning Torah, even before the Torah was given. Unbelievable. Already Jewish people, that was before Matan Torah. But they still were thirsty for Torah concepts, yeah, such as was given in Morah, right? In Morah they were given Kibbud Avim, Shabbos, Dinim, some say Shabbos Noach, yeah. Nilu, they got tired. Nilu either gets tired or thirsty. In modern Hebrew, Nil'eh is tired. It also means thirsty. The prophets amongst them, you know what these prophets, as Rambam? Moshe, and the 70 Zakanim, the 70 elders. Yeah, Moshe and his BSD were mitaken. What were the mitaken? Whichever Torah they have, whichever Torah they've got, they made an establishment at Takona, Shabbos, they should read on Shabbos. So first of all, my friends, Krias HaTorah on Shabbos was established by who? Moshe Rabbeinu. And he's based in whichever Torah we're going to get, and they knew they're going to get the Torah. Shem told them in Mitzrayim, right? You're going to get the Torah. Obviously, already in the Sneh, he told him that. If so, when we're going to get the Torah, I'm already now establishing a set system in which you'll read the Torah on Shabbos, Sunday you stop, then you read on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no Torah, then you read on Thursday, Shabbos, and you stop on Friday. They should not go to sleep 3 days without Torah. Obviously, one has to learn Torah every day, and preferably every given moment of your day as much as you can. There's a lot of sources for that, including Mishnah Berurah. It's halacha, but the minimum for the public as a nation, we should all listen to the Torah at least no less than once in 3 days. Torah, 3 days without Torah, that's like that's death. That's horrendous. That's like, one second. Yeah. So really, the one who established Monday, Thursday, and Shabbos is Moshe Rabbeinu. By the way, Zohar, maybe the Oraisa, that's a different story. Some say the Krias HaTorah in Yom Tov is the Oraisa, because the Mishnah in Megillah, the Mishnah says, V'daber Moshe Moed Hashem of Bnei Yisrael, maybe the Oraisa. But the regular Krias HaTorah on Shabbos morning is the D'Arbanon for Moshe Rabbeinu, and Monday and Thursday. Give me a second, Baruch. The question is, so that's not Ezra. It's not Ezra. It's Moshe. We're telling him Ezra. Who's Ezra? I mean, Ezra is very chashuv, but he's not the one who established the Krias HaTorah. Answers, no, I'll listen to your question now. I'll listen to your question and then we'll get to the answer. Be'ezer Hashem. Baruch wants to say a nice sport. So what? They did go 3 days without Torah, right? I'm not sure if they arrived at the 4th or 3rd day, but they had an issue of 3 days. Now they went to drink the Torah, it was bitter. When you're out of Torah for a long time, it's hard to get back to it. It's already, you lose the taste. You have to get back into it. Like it says, Yomi, you don't learn 1 day, then the next day, it's as if you departed for 2 days. The next day to get into it is much harder. Because you go away from Hashem, Hashem goes away from you. Then you have like 2 days distance to cover. That's a pshat, yeah? When you don't learn for 1 day, you distance yourself from Hashem. So then it goes, whoop, you go here, and Hashem also goes that way. Hashem also distances himself from you. All in all, 1 and 1 is 2. Now you got to bridge the gap of 2 days. You have much harder work. So on the same token, you're saying very nice. Okay, very nice. Answers the Gemara. By the way, no, before the answer, Tosfos and other Rishonim say, why Monday and Thursday? We could have arranged it differently. I don't know, Tuesday, Friday. You can play around with, I don't know, Sunday, Wednesday, basically somehow. So the Tosfos says, Monday and Thursday are days of Rachamim. You can see the beginning of Tosfos. Look at the beginning of Tosfos. Kedei shelo yalinu. It's the second Dibur Maschil Kedei shelo yalinu. V'im toimar. Mai shna shetiknu sheni v'chamishi. Why Monday and Thursday? Why is that? Yeshloimar mishum domo b'medrash. It says in the Medrash, Moshe Rabbeinu olav hasholom olav b'chamishi lekabel luchas achroinos. You know that Moshe Rabbeinu went to Shemayim how many times? Three times 40. The last I don't use Christian terms. The last time he went up, the ascension, the last time I love the Alpha $5. I know it sounds terrible. Excuse me, Anglos sometimes they say priest for a coin, that throws me off the rock. That's where I can't take it anymore. There's a gvul. The Kitzer, the third time Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim, when was that? Lamed of, right before Chodesh Elul, right? The last 40 days. And that happens to be Thursday. I'm sure it didn't happen to be, I'm sure there is a reason, but that, because it started with Har Sinai, Yitzan B'Tammuz, going back to Yitzan B'Tammuz, from Yitzan B'Tammuz, Rosh Chodesh Elul is the second one. Rosh Chodesh Elul starts the third one. It was Thursday. And V'yorod B'Sheni. And when he went down on the Day of Atonement, on Yom Kippur, there was a Monday, and then Hashem forgave him. The final atonement and reuniting with Hashem and the new Luchos was on Yom Kippur. That Yom Kippur was on Monday. Because that going up and going down was a time of Rotzoin. The great love was Dafka when Hashem forgave us and accepted us again to give us Luchos Niyos. That going up and going down was on Monday and Thursday. That's when Monday and Thursday became the big stars of the show in the Jewish week. Full stop. I'm not continuing the whole Tosfos, it's a long one. So that's why also you make tinies on Monday and Thursday, because it's a day of Rotzah, it's a day of Rachamim, just like Hashem forgave everybody from regarding the Egel. For the Egel, he forgave them Monday and Thursday, and a cycle of Monday and Thursday. That's when the circuit started, that's when the circuit was complete. So too, Monday and Thursdays are good days for tinies. Hashem loves us more on Monday and Thursday. Interesting. Dafka the but base din, as we saw, good. It's a day of Rachamim. The Yom Kippur is there. There are technical reasons which we'll see, but I'm just thinking now. It's also a day of Rachamim. So when the Dayan sits, he sits Dafka in the day of Rachamim, which makes sense because we in the Jewish base din we're trying to be Merachim. So makes sense to me. In any event, we didn't answer the question. Hey, don't let me get off the hook. Who established the Krias HaTorah Monday, Thursday, Shabbos? Ezra or Moshe? Answers the Gemara. Because it was Moshe. First of all, it was Moshe. So whoever tells you Ezra established the Krias HaTorah, which I've seen in so many places, it's a mistake. Gamarnu, finished. He did not establish the idea of Krias HaTorah. Goodbye. Thank you. Mikora tiknu chad gavra tloso psuki. When Moshe Rabbeinu established the Krias HaTorah, the idea was that one person should go up there. No more fighting. One guy goes over there and reads 3 pesukim. End of story. Inami, gavri, psuki. Or there's another version of what Moshe established. The format he was established was 3 people, each one 3 pesukim. Keneged koyanim, levim, v'Yisraelim, or kohen levi Yisrael, like we have today. So each one, kohen levi Yisrael, keneged that, you have 3 pesukim each. Also, who came Ezra? What was his big takono? Tiket loso gavri v'asoro psuki. Yeah, v'asoro psuki. By the way, you should know one way of explaining what I just said was not like I said. Loso gavri, loso psuki may mean 1 pasuk each. Also, 1 for Kohen, 1 for Levi, 1 for Israel. However, what we know for sure is that Ezra extended it. 3 people go up to the Torah, and how much do they read? A minimum of 10 pesukim. 10 pesukim have to be read. Yeah, I mean many times it's more until Rishon, whatever. But the Krias HaTorah should never be less than 10 pesukim. Why 10 pesukim? Keneged asara batlonin. Asara batlonin are not lazy bums actually. Batlonin are 10 people that are paid, but not only but Batlon is a Batlonin. No, for everyone together. I said Sachakol. I said Sachakol, and if I don't, then I ask him for forgiveness. a minimum of 10 by all. Yeah. So 3 people read a total of 10. I would divide it is a sugya and Megillah Daf Chaf from the base, which I'll actually tell you now. What's a Sarah Betlonin? 10 people that are always there in shul, making sure that there's a minyan and making sure they're bottled from their melocho. They don't work in anything else. Basically, like the kollel system. Anybody who tells you kollel is a new idea, it's not such a new idea. They always had an ir chashuva. The Gemara in Megillah says, everybody knows the Gemara in Megillah about the small town and the big town and the one with the wall. A big town is not Tokyo, and a big town is not Shanghai, even though it's huge, or Beijing has 17 million people. A big town is a town where you have 10 people dedicating for being in shul and always being there for minyan. That's called a big city, even though you only has 30 people maybe or 50 people. And a small city does not have an existing minyan. Only 5, 6, 9 people, wherever, yeah, some Chupipik, Nebraska, yeah. So even though there are 10 million people, it's a small place. It goes by the quality of the functionality of a minyan. So Asara Batlonin are the people who make sure there's always a minyan there. And in honor of those people, we decided to read 10 pesukim, which makes a lot of sense. Just because of those people, you can have a minyan and Krias HaTorah. Otherwise, there is no Krias HaTorah. So in honor of those people who are not such Batlonin, you have to have 10 people. By the way, the Gemara in Megillah gives other reasons which are not brought over here. The Gemara in Megillah says, Keneged Asersa Dibros, that's the 10 commandments. You know that? Or the 10 Amoros, the 10 utterances, the 10 statements that Hashem made when He created the world. Hashem created the world in 10 statements, including Bereshis, is a statement by itself. So 10 is a very, I told you once, no? I made a collection of whenever I saw 10 in my learning, I saw number 10 over 250 times, different things. I'm not exaggerating. And I stopped counting and I saw a few more since. So 10 is the very choshen number. In Yiddishkeit, it's all the spheres, all the ashpot that come from the Kodesh Baruch Hu down all the way down to us. The 10 different types of influence that affect the world. There are 10 different spheros. 7 and 3. You enter Chabad, and then 7. Yeah. The 301 is a shayla. 3-1 if it's 3, which is 1. And then Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, Netzachot, Yisod, Malchus. In any event, what did I want to say? I want to say so many things. How do they divide? I'll be with you in a second. How do they divide the 10? You have 3 people, and you have to divide 10 pesukim by 3 people. So the Gemara in Megillah says either the first one reads the 4, or the middle one reads the 4, or the last one reads the 4. Right? Somebody has to take more. The Gemara says they're all good. All minhagim are right. Either the first one gets the 4 because the first one is more choshev. Yeah, the Gemara says because the pushkas in Beis Hamikdash, there were pushkas, tzedakah in Beis Hamikdash, the one that got filled in first was also emptied first. The middle one is also very choshev because in this week's parsha we see the menorah. In the menorah, the middle candle was the most choshev. Everyone was tilted towards the middle one, and the last one is also the most choshev. Why? Because we have a concept of ma'alin, b'kodesh, and moridin. Right? What did you do today? First talis and then tefillin, or then tefillin and then first talis and then talis? What do you do? What's the meaning in England? Tzitzis first. Whoa. Why? Why don't you put the tefillin first? Because Malin B'Kodesh. Because tzitzis is less kodesh and tefillin is more kodesh. We also want to elevate the kedusha. So the last one, as we say, achron choviv. The last one is the better one. So too, the last one can read the 4 pesukim. So either first, middle, or last, they all have source which one will get the 4 pesukim. At the end of the day, Ezra was metaken to have what? To have 10 pesukim somehow divided by 3 people. So Ezra established a detail in Krias HaTorah. Oh, now we're not the Maratzim anymore, Baruch Hashem. Yes, I'm talking about myself. Yeah, go ahead, Rabbeinu. Yeah. Next, please. Donin b'sheni u'b'chamishi. Why did Ezra establish that they should read the they should have a Beis Din sitting on Monday and Thursday? The shchichi, the also lemikra besifra, because already there in the big town meaning where there's a minyan, the minyan town, yeah, that's where people are shchichi. They're already there. The also lemikra besifra. They came to read the Torah, so they might as well have a Beis Din sitting over there Monday and Thursday. Correct. A lot of Rishonim, including Tosfos, they asked, excuse me, what was before Ezra? Beis Din never set, Beis Din always set. And they bring down from the beginning of Tzubas, I think the very first sugya in Ksubas, if I remember, is about a man who complains that his wife is not a Bestula. So he goes to Beis Din, and there it says Beis Din originally were every day, each and every day, Beis Din were sitting in town. So Ezra actually said instead of every day, only Monday and Thursday. So Ezra actually minimized the time of Beis Din. What kind of takana is that? Ezra chicken that they should sit sounds like it's something positive, like he's adding. If they were there every whole day, Sunday to Friday, and then all of a sudden closing time, open Monday, Thursday only. So Ezra did actually minimize the time. Let's look at Tosfos inside, although there's also a Rashba. Let's start with Tosfos. Says the Tosfos. The Donin the base obey. This is the second Tosfos from the bottom of the page. The Donin the base obey. The Imtoima, Frek Tosfos. Ezra, before Ezra's Takana, Bezin would be established and sit there every day. What's Ezra big deal? Is Ezra actually minimizing their time? And what's so good about it? I have it in Torah on Tuesday, excuse me. That's one of the few terutzim. They would be established in one city, one big city, every day. Yerushalayim, in the real big cities, one city, Bezin would be there every day. You have a din Torah against your friend, and you live in kibbutz Kishkush, I don't know, 100 kilometers from Yerushalayim. You have to travel all the way to Yerushalayim or to whichever big city. Well, they're there every day, but they're far away in the central place. Ezra, he basically, made the system, he improved the system by making basically more approachable to everybody, more accessible, and therefore everybody can come to Beis Din, which would sit anywhere, b'chol ir ve'ir. Every town that has a minyan has a Beis Din. That's many towns. Wherever you have a shul with 10 batlonim, you have a Beis Din. And however, they don't have what to do every day. That's like a small moshav. They don't have what to do there every day. They sit there Monday and Thursday. So time-wise, you may have to wait for 2-3 days, but lemaisa, you have it's right near you, in a high street near you, just near your home. That's much more convenient. Today they would say have a base in the internet. You bring it to the comfort of your home through Zoom. Anyway, other Rishonim say, one second, other Rishonim say that they would, based in before Ezra, I think the Rashba, he says that other Rishonim say that before Ezra, Bezin would never sit a kavua. In a kavua, there was no place where Bezin are always there. What are you going to do all day long? If everyone's at peace, what are they going to do? Go and smoke the hookah? What are they going to do all the time? Elamai, if you have a court case, go to the dayan and create a court case. If you have a case, ad hoc, you initiate and you tell the dayanim, hey, so-and-so stole my cow, and now Bezin sits down for a sitting, but it was an official thing. And that was apparently not so good. Maybe people would be too intimidated to start the whole thing. Bezin encouraged people to go to Beis Din by having a set time, Monday, Thursday, instead of just, spontaneously creating the Beis Din whenever there is a case. There was Monday, Thursday, Kavua, and they would sit there. What would they do when people didn't come? They would sit and learn before Shigmar and Shabbos. They would sit and learn or stand and learn by the door. When people come, they would say, hello, what's your case? How can I help you, sir? Rabbi Yaakov has a question. You're from...
You were available every day for a case. They will always meet.
Okay, I skipped a line. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. Says the Gemara, the first takana shikorin b'mincha b'Shabbos mishum yoshvei konos. Go up to like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Berch 10 lines from the narrow lines. From bottom of narrow lines. Shiur korin b'mincha line starts with the word sheyahu. There's line machzirin and then shiur. That's actually the first takana which I failed to explain. I forgot. Shiur korin b'mincha b'Shabbos. Am I recorded? Yes. Shiur korin b'mincha b'Shabbos. That was takana Ezra. To read the Torah mincha Shabbos, that's a complete Ezra thing. I have a private joke about it. Mishum yoshvei kronos. Who's yoshvei kronos? Yoshvei kronos are people which really should be called batlonim. There are people, either they work so hard that they're people who corner sitters. They sit in the corners of the street, smoking their cigars or doing the thing, playing a How do you say shesh in English? I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Backgammon. The kid, yeah, playing the things, very productive, right? Or they can give you a long lecture how the avrechim are batlonim. I've seen that. Yep. Anyway, so then, so those people, either there are people who are, there are two main explanations of the Rishonim. Ezra established reading the Torah in Mincha and Shabbos, besides the existing takana of Monday, Thursday, Shabbos morning, which existed from the time of Moses, came Ezra and added a fourth one. Which one? The Shabbos afternoon. But so, was Brent to Ezra to add the Shabbos afternoon Krias HaTorah? Huh? Because there are people who are what I would call batlonim, Yoshua Kronos, people who don't do much with their lives. That's one of two. Explanation number one, there are hardworking people. They work so hard, they never make it to shul except for Shabbos. And there are people who just never go to shul except for Shabbos. Do you know where I was born? In Mea Sharim? I'm joking. Where I was born, there are a lot of Shomer Shabbos people who would go to shul only on Shabbos. Yeah, not my parents, but I'm saying my father went every day. A lot of people would, shul is a Shabbos thing. You know that, yeah? I mean, I'm sure it's not a chiddush. So you go to shul on Shabbos. So they would actually never read the Torah on Monday and Thursday, right? So they need an extra boost. They need like an extra one. When is that extra one? Shabbos afternoon. At least they should know what's the next week's parsha. That's why it's the same reading as Monday and Thursday. In other words, since we know you're not going to make it to shul Monday and Thursday, maybe for a good reason, I don't know. The Yoshua Kronos, though, is not a compliment to be called Yoshua Kronos. It's not a good, hardworking man who was really honest not to come to shul. If he wanted to, he could have made it to shul. Yeah, he didn't. So at least on Shabbos afternoon, get the go-ahead, at least to know what's going to happen in shul when you'll be missing. Another pshat of Yoshua Kronos is Shabbos afternoon. What do? Depends. Not being judgmental. Some people, okay, I also sleep for too long Shabbos afternoon, I have to admit. Yeah, you do your Shabbos shlof, and then what? Then depends. Some people don't do anything. They just read again the newspaper, the shtuyot, the thing. Yoshua Kronos, you're just mevatel time on Shabbos, not even attention to your children. Stam, the guy sits and reads the whole 10 different newspapers from beginning to end. So then, because people Shabbos afternoon tend to laze around, because of that, Ezra was mitaken that they should come to shul in order to read Krias HaTorah. Some people say, the Rishonim, interesting, Krias HaTorah would bring them to shul. If not to Krias HaTorah, they may have davened at home. But Krias HaTorah is a magnet to come to shul after you read Krias HaTorah. Lahavdil, the person was the most non-Yoshev Kronos, chas v'shalom, to mention in the same sentence, was Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. He had terrible, I don't know, he was once very, very sick, and he still made it to shul with unbelievable effort. So his children told him that, like many sources, you potter from going to shul. So he said, I'm potter from going to shul, but Krias HaTorah I have to hear. So that he held. So he went with all the excruciating pain. So Krias HaTorah, you come to shul, even, yeah. So Mimela, Ezra this way avoided from people to be misbattled. And why am I so excited about what you said? Ezra was establishing Torah. Ezra reintroduced Torah to many people. They're already married to who? To Mackenzie, the Babylonian version of Mackenzie. They were married to Sanballat's daughter. Sanballat is a very typical name for Babylonians. I saw yesterday in Nehemiah, one of the Kohanim was the son-in-law of Sanballat. Yes, so Sanballat was you'd be married to his daughter. What do you know about Torah anymore? He would make sure that they leave them and start living life of Torah. So he established more Torah and more Krias HaTorah and more going to shul. Yeah, are we on the same page? Very good. So that makes a lot of sense. Weiter. Go back to where we were. Thank you for the reminder. No, your shliach tov, Baruch. V'shiyu mechabsin b'chamishi. We're done with the BSD. V'shiyu mechabsin b'chamishi b'Shabbos v'shum kvoid Shabbos. Why do you have to wash your clothes on Thursday? Because of kvoid Shabbos. Why not? So first, there are two things. First of all, make sure you have not white. I'm saying, clean clothes for Shabbos, whichever color you prefer. Clean clothes for Shabbos. Now, why Thursday? Why Thursday? Because Friday you're busy doing other things. The Achroinim tend more and more to, if you ask a lot of people, they will tell you that it's usher to do laundry on Friday. When you see most of the Rishonim and the Gemara, it's not so simple that it's usher on Friday. That's the way it was miskabel with the generations. But the main part of the Takana is to, yes, do it on Thursday because we assume Friday have no time. Some people learn, no, not people who learn. I'm not chas v'shalom arguing. That's is Makor in the Rishonim also. I didn't see all the Rishonim that you should not do it on Friday to give you time to do other preparations on Friday. If a woman has to do both laundry and cooking on Friday, that's too much. She'll be missing on something. She'll be doing her husband's shirts and will miss on making a beautiful cake. What's more important? Yeah. So then the preferred day is Thursday, and don't do the laundry on Friday. And a lot of pesukim do say that. A lot of pesukim do say, and I'm bending down in front of them, they say not to do the laundry on Friday. However, then comes, I don't know if you're aware of it, the washing machine was introduced to the world in the 40s. That's what I read. Yeah, that's what I read somewhere. Yeah, so since 1940s, there were some kinds, there were even more primitive ones before, but the relative modern one. The what? Washboard, when you have to go like this. Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, so then, okay. So, but before that, washing was a very, very hard thing to do. Washing the Yom Krias was an entire day of very, very hard work before anything resembles washing machine. So they say the pashtus of the Gemara talks about what kind of washing? A whole day of real hard work. So you don't do that on Friday because that really doesn't leave you a second or energy or time to do anything else. With the washing machine, some people are makel, do what your rabbi tells you. I am makel, my wife is, and to do the washing on Friday because it's a washing machine, and there are definitely achronim who are makel in that. Some people are still machmir, so you can follow them. What? Cholamoid, you're not supposed to do the washing also, but that I haven't seen kula with the washing machine. Here it's more about the energy. I'm not saying whatever. Do whatever your Rav tells you. I'm just giving you the background to the sugya. This is not a halacha shiur. I'm telling you the general hashkafa. The main thing is to have your clothes clean for Shabbos. Shall you use the washing machine on Friday? Make sure that you ask your Rav. And also to have a washing machine going on from Friday to Shabbos is more of a problem. Even though you're not operating in town, things that make noise should not be on Shabbos, even though you operated them on Friday. Yeah, your light bulb does make noise. Air condition, it says cooler because it's tsar, cholim, maybe, yeah. No, it's cholim. You can't. No, dishwashers, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. People do. I'm saying, okay. Weiter. The Shiur oichlin shum be'erev Shabbos. People, that is men actually, not women. That's for men only. Men should eat garlic on Erev Shabbos. Why should one eat garlic on Erev Shabbos, which is either Friday or Leil Shabbos? Yishum oina, because of oina, because the man has a mitzvah to please his wife and do oina. And oina, you function better when you eat the garlic. Garlic is very good for the blood, and as we'll see later on, and that's to do with the sperm and all that. And mimela, a man should have garlic in order to be a better husband on Friday night. Why dafka Friday night? It says asher pirya yiten be'itoy. It says about the tzaddik in the first chapter of the Psalms. Yeah, it says, I think it was a priest 2 Gilgulim ago. The first chapter. Joking, don't look at me like that. Yeah, the first kapitel Tilim. It says asher pirya yiten be'itoy. He gives his fruit the right time. The fruit, the children, is brought in the right time. V'amar Yehuda v'itemer of Nachman, v'itemer of Kana, v'itemer of Yochanan, the Mishamish mitos from Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos. The one who does Tashmish Mito from Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos, that is the midah of the Talmud Chacham. The Talmud Chacham should have Tashmish from Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos, unless, in other words, the different people of different professions, the wives can claim from that, not claim the pay, but should expect that the husband should be available for her. Depends on the profession of the person. If the person is Tayal, the person doesn't work hard, he has a very cushy, easy job, and the government doesn't take taxes from him, says the Gemara in Subas something, base. So his oil is every night because he's not working too hard. He's not coming to bed like completely out of it. So then every day, somebody else, the Chamal, Gamal, the Sapan is once half a year. How can you live like that? I don't know. A Talmud Chacham is from Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos, unless he knows that his wife wants. Then it becomes a Chiyuv D'Oraisa, the wife wants. But the Lamaisa, Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos is the time. That's why the garlic should be on Erev Shabbos as like something to help his functionality as a man. Lamaisa, it says something very interesting, which is a shkofa. Shkofa is why do you take the garlic on Friday? Say the Rishoni, because during the week you shouldn't think about it. In other words, your Tashmish Shamita Indian should be only in the appropriate time. Don't think about it all the time. It's not appropriate for Jewish men to think, Tashmish. In other words, in the right time, then you take care of it, and then you do it without this like spilling over to your psyche all the time. Tonu Rabbanon, that's Choshev Musar. Tonu Rabbanon, Chamisha Dvorim Ne'emru B'Shum. There are 5 good things, I'm adding, that were said about the garlic. Masbia, it satisfies you. Umashchin, not shchin. Shchin is boils. Doesn't give you boils. It warms the body, warms up the body. Maybe it's good for tashmish. Matzil ponim makes your face shine like shine and bright, bright shiny faces, like you always say. Yes, shine faces. Umar be'azera, and it helps the sperm. Mamish. And it kills the kinim. It kills the lice that are inside the stomach. Yeah, like some people have even today. Sometimes children get like worms in the stomach. So the garlic is good, against it. And some say it induces love and takes out jealousy. Person having garlic is in such a good mood. So Mimela, there's only love, simcha, no kina, no jealousy, everything good. I read also in modern sources that garlic is a very, 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 very healthy thing on many, many levels, not only this. So garlic is it. That's it. So Ezra established that they should eat the garlic on Erev Shabbos. Some say Friday, and some say Shabbos. Just make sure you use the mouthwash and like the garlic in your mouth. So you're allowed to use mouthwash on Shabbos. You can't brush your teeth. Make sure you do that too. Okay. Don't say it out loud. Yes. Okay. A woman should wake up early in the morning and bake. So the anim should have bread. However, some Rishonim say that really the idea is on Friday morning. In other words, not every day. Some say every day, and only may come every day, right? Some say it's one of the takonos is Friday morning. The baking of the bread should be your first priority, and that's state in halacha in the beginning of Reish Mem Beis, beginning of Chelek Gimel. It says a woman should bake her bread on Shabbos, on Friday for Shabbos. You know, the Mishnah Berurah says, he says there's a new minhag, which is a bad minhag. Today the women buy chalas. Shocking. Buying chalas in the times of Mishnah Berurah was like today you tell me to buy cholent, they make your own cholent, So it's preferable. Today Rav Scharish told me it's not so bad because it's so accepted. It's not like lack of kavod of Shabbos. It's the shiloh of what's going on, the norm. But of course, it's much better if a woman can bake her bread, and the earlier the better. Also the sources in Parshas B'Shalach that they went early in the morning. So you should start Friday early in the morning, your Shabbos preparations. I always try to make sure to do something in honor of Shabbos before I go to the other things. A woman, before I do other things, Friday morning, I don't open. I prepare for Shabbos, I also do other things. A woman should girdle herself. A girl, she should have like on her thighs. She should have on her hips. She should have a sinah. In modern Hebrew, sinah is a apron. Very good. So there are 3 explanations to what kind of clothing garment Ezra made the women wear, and one reason is mishum tzniusa, for reasons of tznius. So now, say the Rishonim like this. Either she has to wear like little, excuse my language, underwear. And underwear was introduced. Why is that tznius? It's anyhow under a skirt. Because lahachik min avera, to make sure that it's like she's covered one more level to distance herself from avera. Interesting thing is that the Rishonim here bring down that it's not even if she's willing to do the avera. Sometimes there are situations of rape, and sometimes it happened in the Gemara, in Yerushalmi, and in Bavli, that animals raped women. It says in Yerushalmi, in Megillah, and I saw it inside because I didn't believe it, but I saw it inside. A woman was in the house, and a monkey raped her from the front and the back. Interesting. It says koif. I saw koif. It didn't say koif odoim. So a monkey. But that's how AIDS started. The other way, you know that. How did AIDS come to the world? A man with a female monkey. Yeah, that's what you didn't know. Yes. So yeah, it's new for you. I thought I'm the one closed-minded. So then, sorry, it's a compliment for you. So then, a monkey came on a woman. So the tachtoinim, the sinar, I don't know, maybe it was a thicker kind of cloth, or an animal would know how to fiddle with that, or whatever. It's some kind of extra protection for the woman to stop from avera. There's a case in the Gemara in Ksubas. a dog came, a wild dog came, and also, so I'm saying that's kind of extra level. Yeah. Koyanim are in Beis Hamikdash, but it's not everyone and not a woman. We didn't see it by women as a chiyuv. Here Ezra told them everyone has to wear this new garment. And also another pshat is nida. In other words, that was the first sanitary pad in history. In other words, the blood may go out and it's not, and I guess before that they didn't care. Or they put something maybe, I don't know, provisory, I don't know, something, whatever, something not so. And he established, and it should be very long, so even if the blood goes down, you don't see the blood. And another pshat is, he was really a sinor, poshet pshat. A third pshat is on the Rishonim, there was an apron to make sure her skirt doesn't get dirty. Because let's say a woman does housework, or she needs the dough, she does things that can cause her dress to get dirty. What do you do in order not to get your dress dirty? You pick it up. She'll be picking up her dress, and that's not tznius at all, right? Therefore, once she has a sina, an apron, like today, she has to wear an apron when she does her house job or whatever job she does. She works with tar, I don't know, in order to make sure her clothes don't get dirty. And that way she keeps them on without folding them up in a way that's not sanua. So you see how important sneas is. Next, takona is a woman before going to the ritualarium, she has to be choifefes. She has to, what? She has to, I would say, wash herself. Let's now assume, for now, lachfof, like in modern Hebrew, lachfof is just to wash her hair, wash her body. She has to do that before she goes to the mikveh. That's what the Takana says, Ezra. Like before that, what would they do? Go to the mikveh with everything on, yeah, with a nail polish. Well, what was before? The oraisa. It's a chiyuv d'oraisa to get rid of chatzitza, interruption. The Tanya says in the Torah. The rochat says b'sor b'mayim. That applies to both men or women, whoever is tomeh, zav, zova, nida, metzoira, whoever has to go to mikveh. That's many people. Malkevi. The rochat says b'sor b'mayim. He should wash his flesh, meaning his body, in the water. B'soroi b'mayim. Flesh should touch the water. Shelo yeh dover choitzes ben b'sor l'mayim. Nothing should interrupt between your skin and the water. That's a d'oraisa. Es b'soroi, as we've seen many places, including Daf Mem Aleph and many other places, the word es comes to add something else. Es a tofel b'soroi. Not only your body itself should be in contact with the water, with no interruption of, I don't know, dough or ink or anything. Everything should be straight in contact with the water. Also, something which is tofel b'soroi, something that's secondary to the body, should also be in direct touch with the water. What's its secondary business? Se'ar. Se'ar is hair. Oh, so you see that neither your body nor your hair should have any chatzitza before you go to the mikveh. So what's Ezra metakin over here? Amri. So they answered, and that's brought down in Halacha Shulchan Aruch. The le'iyuni is good enough. Dilma mikta, which means, let's say a lady looks herself in the mirror, or she has a mikveh lady looking at her. She doesn't see any dirt, including the hair. She doesn't have very long flowing hair. She has hair that's manageable, and like I don't know the name, the hairstyle names in English. And she sees that hair looks to me from all sides. Nothing looks interrupting. She has no lice, nothing there, no chewing gum stuck. She's not a teenager. She's fine. She's good. That's good enough for me. Or even go like, run your fingers. I think it's okay. So midoraisa, that's okay. Kumt Ezra, Dilma Miktar, by the way, Dilma Miktar, which means maybe the hair is knotted. There's a knot in the hair. That can happen. So let's say she makes sure there are no knots. Looks okay, feels generally okay. I don't see there are any knots in my hair. I'm going to jump to the water now. Inami Mos Midi Mishum Chatzitza. She looks at her body and her hair. There's nothing disgusting, very disgusting. She didn't wash. She did not wash before the mikveh. But she sees no chewing gums, no, no dough, no leftover nail polish. I'm okay. I don't have to wash. I don't have time to wash. I'm rushing home. So that would be okay with the Oraisa. Also, Iyu tiken chafifa. Then he came, Ezra, and was metaken chafifa, says Rashi, and that's halacha l'maisa, this Rashi, b'masrek la'choka demirsa. Whether you want it or not, lady, you have to, you have to brush your hair, comb your hair with a proper comb and make sure you comb each and every hair, even if it felt okay before, because you never know. There are surprises. You didn't see maybe a knot here, not there. And now, some Rishonim say, and that's halacha, she also has to wash. Even though our body seems to be clean and I don't see any dough or I don't know, any funny thing there. Nevertheless, still the woman has to comb her hair, regardless to the way she checked before, and she has to wash herself, preferably in the bathtub, but the Evid in the shower. But the Evid, by the way, if she didn't wash, but she knows she's very clean, some Rishon may be more mekel, because the main takon, according to Rashi, is masrek, is the combing. But without combing is a big problem. Without combing is a big problem. It's a shal even with the Evid. If she went without combing before, so she should go back to the mikveh. After she's been with her husband, maybe more mekel, libanoik stories. But Lamaisa, there's definitely a chiyuv to always brush there, not brush, comb. Comb is more than brush, hair by hair. And to wash her body, regardless even if she thinks she looks absolutely fine and clean. Oh, I didn't get to the soapbox yet. We'll go there tomorrow. Okay, so we're done with today. Tomorrow is what? Tuesday. No Krias HaTorah. And more of Ezra tomorrow. I'm listening to every word you say, and have a great day, everybody.